Hi guys, GameTalk, Twente Ajax, Eredivisie game 1-3. Very important 3 points, Ajax.
Yes.
Huntelaar, legend.
Yes, he is. 37 years old, man. He just comes in to the match at the 87th minute, and 78th minute, and he's like a young dog. You saw the energy he had. The match needed that because they were not performing. The energy was low. They were not sharp anymore, and he just brings that extra kind of poise, and you just see it works. And yes, it was terrific assist by Haller. But he still has to finish it with his weak foot, and he does the job. We've seen this season many Ajax players fail in front of the goal like that, in that perimeter, like that close to the goal. They just shot the ball over.
Well, actually, Promes had also a chance today.
Exactly.
Also close to the goal, and he shot... Well, it wasn't even on target.
And I'm not saying he scores everything, but for his 37 years old, being this sharp still and having this kind of motivation to still make the difference. And the way he was like cheering after the first goal, he was running to Onana, you know. He had too much energy. Yeah. So I'm very proud. I'm very happy for him that he can have this moment, that he can be this important this season, although it's like a few minutes, but that he scores two goals in this time frame. Yeah, man, I'm very happy with this contribution.
So what should Ajax say to Schalke now?
Yeah, that's a good one.
But what do you think? Do you think we should keep him until the summer?
I think...
Do you think... Because now he's showing it, he's important for us in the race, you know, to win the title.
For Ajax, it's maybe best to keep him around for maybe a pinch hitter role and to force something like today. Mm-hmm. But... Actually, it's the same with Schöne. It's such an Ajax guy. He played so many years for our club. If he has the wish to go to Schalke, I think you just need to allow him to go. Because he did so many things for the club. He's been so loyal. He's been here for many years. He's performed for many years. And in the last few years, he's been in a pinch hitter role. But if he wants this last adventure... I just think you should be a gentleman and let him go.
Even though he can be very instrumental for us.
Even though. But for me, I'm happy to keep him at the club.
Okay.
So
I want actually the viewers to drop a comment on this one. Should we keep Huntelaar until the end of the season? Or should we do what you're saying, you know, because as a gentleman's agreement, letting him go?
Yeah.
All right. So moving on. In general, what can we say about the game? I mean, we were relieved at the end. The game wasn't even, I mean, it got worse, but that's also because it was going back and forth. But Ajax got so many chances, they just didn't convert.
It was actually quite a boring game. Like during the match, you were like, it's not that intense, it's not that great from both sides. And I was actually saying this during the game. Both sides, both teams, when they tried to finish the ball or when they had a chance, all the chances went towards the keeper. Yeah. Like actually in the center of the goal, they could just, it's like the pre-warming up, you know, the warming up before the match, that you give balls to the keeper to let him adjust a little bit. Yeah. But for now, this game, all the balls went towards the keeper, to Onana and to the guy from Twente, Drommel.
Okay, but if we talked about Ajax now, why didn't we capitalize earlier? How can you, I mean, it's not one player. There were a bunch of players, Tadic, Anthony. Even Haller got a chance, you know, apart from Haller being also very instrumental today. Yeah. Who else? Promes had chances. I don't know. I mean, there were so many chances that we missed.
It wasn't even not creating the chances, but they were not sharp today.
Exactly.
It was like... It almost felt like a friendly match for me.
But what is it? Is it focus? Because we know how important this game was. Don't forget that PSV lost some points.
If it is focus, it's a part of the coach's staff, the coach and the staff, to make sure that they have the right mentality in the game and to intervene if they do not have it at that moment. And for me, if your number one competitor loses 3 points yesterday, that should be enough motivation to just kill the game and make it 3 points early on. Oh, yeah, and I was saying this when we were watching the game in the first half. They need to score a second goal because it will be difficult in the end. And,
of course.
And this is actually what happened. You see it with the corner and
what happened there? Talk us through the corner. What happened?
Yeah, it's difficult. It's just not very well positioning and also...
So do you blame Gravenberg for that one?
Yeah. a few of the members said it was his fault, but I saw how the trajectory of the ball went and how it bumped on the field, and it hit his
thigh,
I think it's hip or thigh.
Yeah.
And I do not think he had the agility to do it.
Maybe he was also surprised by it, I think.
Yeah, and I think those two things, like that he was surprised, and also not to have enough time to like maneuver his way out of it, to take the ball differently. I think he just had not enough time to do it differently. And if you saw the replay, you also saw when he touched the ball, he slide away, you know. He just loose grip on the field, so he was a little bit too late.
A lot of players had problems with the field today. It seemed maybe it was icy or something.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah,
so it's actually quite cold at the moment. So maybe this is a part of it.
All right. Next thing I want to talk to you about is Huntelaar. We have to mention him. So his first debut from the start. How did he do in your view?
I think he did great. He was instrumental with the first goal. The way he headed the ball in the corner. This is how you should shoot the ball, or how you should head the ball. It's in the corner away from the keeper. It was the only chance during the whole match, I think, that went in the corner.
Exactly.
And he did it terrifically. But I have to give props to Anthony too, because that assist and that crossball, it was terrific. It was how a crossball is supposed to be. Too high for the first defender to head it away. And then he just
drops right on time.
Descended after the first defender, just right in the area where it has to be. And Huntelaar just finished it terrifically. So you could see there that it's a terrific header and a great value for us now to have somebody who can finish it like that.
Yeah, because also, by the way, in the first half, we saw Ajax also playing a lot of long balls now, which didn't happen before. Mm-hmm. And he's the perfect target man for us.
But seriously, what is up with those short corners? Can you explain this to me? Actually, also when Schuurs was in the squad, like the two high towers of the team, you know, they are playing short corners.
I don't know.
What the hell is wrong with those corners? I cannot even remember the last time we scored from a corner.
Yeah, the thing is, I don't understand the short corners either, and it always goes back, and then they put it in. But the difficulty with that, or not the difficulty, but the danger with that, we almost got a counterattack.
We're exposed because most of your defenders are up front.
Exactly.
And if you decide to not take the ball like a long corner kick, if you decide to take it short, you should already have like a signal within the team, we're going to take this one short, and then you leave Schuurs like in the center. Because if you take it short and you have the danger to lose it in that area of the pitch, then you are exposed to your own goal.
Exactly.
So, or you capitalize on it. You know, you have the taller guys within the 16-yard box, and you try and force it with a long ball, like Twente, for example, did. But no short corners. This doesn't make sense. Mm-hmm. So I'm really surprised that they're still doing this. And yeah, we should be more lethal from corners. You know, the season with in the Champions League with De Ligt, how many times did we score from corners?
Exactly. Look, finally, I only want to talk now about Ten Hag.
Yeah.
Because first of all, I want your opinion on how he started, especially on the switch Timber-Schuurs. Mm-hmm. And after that, I also want you to tell me what you thought of his substitutions. Mm-hmm. I thought today he had a lucky hand. But maybe you saw it differently. Please elaborate.
I think we have the same opinion about this. I think he had a lucky hand. That is why I gave him a 5 in the end, because he turned it around. Yeah, I'm not happy with his contribution today. I will explain to you why.
We're talking about Ten Hag.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. He started the match with substituting Schuurs. And it was not because of an injury. And actually, I thought Schuurs was doing pretty well last games, and he was also have to cover up a lot for Blind.
Okay.
And today, again, we saw Blind was far below par again. He has some great passes.
Defensively.
Yeah. But let's be honest, Juan.
Yeah.
What is Blind?
A defender.
Exactly.
But in the Ajax style, he brings more than just defending.
I do not care about style or not. We have a certain style. I agree. Mm-hmm. It is a surplus value if a defender can pass at Ajax. Mm-hmm. But he has to have defensive qualities too. And he's lacking in a lot of areas defensively. And first and foremost, you're a defender.
Yeah.
And not a midfielder. Yeah. And not an attacker.
Look, to elaborate on the Blind thing, right? Yeah. Let me illustrate two things, which is typical Blind. So the goal we conceded, of course, it comes off Gravenberch. It bounces off Gravenberch. But before that...
Who loses the header?
Yeah, the one that loses the header is Blind. Okay, that's one. On the other side, the one that was giving the ball to Klaassen, which gave the ball to Haller, which had the ball back to Huntelaar, the first attack started with Blind. So
I
this
agree.
is what you get. You get defensively this, and you get attacking-wise this.
But you have to be realistic with this. If you have a certain person within your squad that has certain abilities, you deliver the ball to him. But it does not mean that if he's not in the squad, that another person cannot deliver a certain pass. There are certain players within a team and certain players with certain qualities that do not use it at this moment. It's the same with a free kick taker. If you have an excellent free kick taker within a team, it doesn't matter that the other doesn't mean that the other players are crap.
Exactly. But
So if Blind doesn't play, then maybe Gravenberch or Klaassen or Tadic or other players will take the ball and take the initiative and take the pass. But one thing is for certain, he lacks defensive strengths and qualities.
Yeah.
And this is the most important thing as a defender. So to get back to the point, why I give the Haag a 5, why do you play Timber? I agree with it, but he has just come back from an injury. He did play a few minutes in young Ajax, and now he starts all of a sudden immediately against
I was afraid he got injured at the end, but it was cramps apparently.
Me too.
But I thought it was a risk too.
And not only this, how come Martinez is on the bench again?
Martinez, forget being on the bench. He's not even being substituted in anymore.
And not only this, why is Schuurs being benched and not Blind? Because in my opinion, the worst defender of the two from the last weeks is Blind, not Schuurs.
Okay, all right.
So it's very weird for me that he benches him.
So this is the thing you hold against Ten Hag.
Yeah, it's weird.
But what about his substitution to bring Huntelaar? Even Labiat today was good.
For me, bringing Huntelaar was just a lucky shot. Because it's the end of the game. You have a few more minutes.
He's the only striker.
He was desperate. He was just desperate. He was bringing him to force something and hope.
I think we should give him a bit more props.
No, because if he would, if he wants to try it out and try to turn it around, he should brought him in like the 75th minute or the 80th minute, not like the 88th minute. It's just this is a last effort from him to maybe have a lucky shot to force something, and Huntelaar delivered. So props to Huntelaar, but. Today, I must say, I don't know if it's lucky or not, the substitutions brought more quality into the pitch today than it was already. Because Labiat was also playing pretty well.
Yeah, he came in also very sharp, etc. Look, the only thing I want to say is we always criticize Ten Hag not having a plan B or not turning things around, which he did today.
Was this a plan B?
Well,
okay,
if you look at the scoreline...
Why did Schuurs come into the pitch?
Because Timber was having cramps.
Okay, that's a plan B. Also, Labiat and Ekkelenkamp. You think this is what we needed at that point? Labiat performed pretty well, but you have to have some speed. And he takes out Anthony and he brings Labiat on the wing.
Yeah.
And Promes, maybe he was not having his greatest game. I can understand the Ekkelenkamp substitution, but is this a plan B? Did you see another tactic?
How about Huntelaar then?
That is what I already explained.
But you don't see it as a plan B. You see it more as a...
It was like he was desperate. He wants to force it. And with me, not only substituting, but the plan B is trying to have a different tactic within the match.
Okay.
Like analyzing the game, see where it goes wrong, and then try something differently. Like totally different.
Okay.
And this is just substituting some players. And maybe I'm being too harsh. I do not know. But for me, it was still below par.
All right. Still happy with the 3 points?
Of course.
We're heading towards Feyenoord this weekend. Yes. And we're a little bit clear now at the table.
Yeah.
First place. So apart from everything, any final thoughts?
Yeah, if we can beat Twente, also it was a bit lucky at the end. Feyenoord should be no problem at all.
Guys, I can feel it, man. I can. You want to subscribe.